On today's episode of the podcast, I will be giving my review of Hotel Barcelona, my review slash impressions of Silent Hill F, and my impressions of Digimon Story Time Stranger. A game I am very excited for. Also, finally got a release date, and it's a lot sooner than expected. And I will talk about what October games I am grabbing and give a little bit about why. All that on today's episode of the Lococast. What's up, everybody, and welcome to a brand new episode of the Lococast. I am your host, Elijah, aka Loco Lizard Man, and let's dive right in to what I want to talk about today. We're going to start with my review of Hotel Barcelona, the new action platformer roguelite from Sweary65 and Suda51, who are two of my favorite creatives in the game industry. One of the things I adore about this game is the aesthetic that it carries with it. It is very much inspired by 80s, 90s anime and 80s, 90s horror. Like there's, I grabbed a screenshot that I shared on social media. There is an elevator with blood coming out of it. I wonder what that's a reference to. It's just so neat to go back to the beginning. You play as Justine, an agent, an FBI agent who becomes partnered with this serial killer that is living inside of her. And you arrive at the Hotel Barcelona, and you're looking for this witch. So, as each area has a different serial killer that you are there to essentially take out on your way to taking out this witch. You both have a reason to do it, and that becomes clear with the story. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, the story is so deep. It's not. The story is fine. It's not amazing. It's fine. We'll say script for lack of a better term. I'm sorry, I am tired. The script, the writing, dialogue is pretty decent. I gotta give it that. It's fun. It's witty. It's clever. It is just a very fun time to sit there and watch as these characters interact and say some wild stuff, some wild characters. It is great. As for gameplay, the gameplay is both amazing and not great at the same time. What I mean by that, combat kind of, at least to me, feels a little heavy, where generally your combos are kind of slow. Now, there are, essentially, you're going to go through each area, and like each level, we'll say, quote unquote, is an area of the game. There are 6 areas, but there's 3 of them are the main one. 4 essentially are the main areas of the game. And as you go, like you enter the first one, you'll be in area 1A of it. And there will be, 4 doors you can enter that are 2A, 2B, 2C, 2D. And if you enter 2A or 2B, you can go in door 1A or 1B, or just 1A, and then if you, or 3A, and if you enter doors 2C or 2D, you can go in door 3B. So it's like, each area has a different, each level has a different layout. Like I'm trying to, area and level I'm using interchangeably, but you get the idea. A world. We'll call them worlds. There's the amusement park. There is the woods, we'll call it. stuff like that. Those are the different worlds, we'll say, and in it are areas, and you go through 4 areas. Different boss doors can take you into different parts of the areas, all the way up to the boss door, which defeat the boss, you unlock the next area, so on. As you play, and enemies you kill, or chests you open, or items you destroy, there are currencies in the game. There's money, bones, teeth, and what's the other one? Ears. And when you die or go back to the hotel, there is a skill tree, essentially, that you can spend these money or items to upgrade the skill tree. And you can't just fully upgrade right away. Each boss gives you a heart that then, after you beat the first one, it unlocks more of the skills. And then the next set will be like, you need to have 2 hearts. So you defeat the second boss. And it's like, okay, now you have 2 hearts. Stuff like that. As you're unlocking more things on the skill tree, you have 2 weapon types. On each run, you have a melee weapon and a gun. Melee weapons range from saws to knives, while firearms, pistols, shotguns, flamethrowers, everything to Molotovs. You get a ranged weapon and a melee weapon for each run, and you can level those up. The music is good. Again, not great. Like I said, the gameplay is good, not great. It can be kind of slow. I personally adore this game. If you know Sweary 65 or Suda 51, you know that the thing this game oozes is personality, its style. The gameplay will never be the defining feature of one of their games. Me, a major fan of both of them, will sit here and tell you that this game is no different. At the end of the day, I'm going to give Hotel Barcelona a 7.5 out of 10. It is a 7.5 out of 10 that I love like a 9.5 out of 10. I accept the flaws, and I'm not going to tell you they aren't there. They are. But I could not stop playing it. I stopped only because, I'll talk about this later, it is going to be a busy month for me. This month will carry me through the next 2 months. But it's going to be a very, very busy month, and I wanted to move on and play another one of the games. I will be going back to this. I do want to try and get the platinum. I think it is very much worth getting the platinum in, and I'm excited at that prospect and to keep playing. Next up, I'm going to give and there's a reason I say review/impressions for Silent Hill F. I did complete a playthrough of Silent Hill F. But the thing about the game is, it is meant to be played multiple times. And I know, you have the idea with like, well, yeah, because Silent Hill generally has multiple endings. No, what I mean is, there are 5 endings. I'm not going to say what they are, but there are 5 endings with Silent Hill F. At the end of the first playthrough, you get the same ending. No matter what, everybody got the very same ending at the end of the first playthrough. At the end of the second playthrough on New Game Plus, you specifically have to go to New Game Plus. The story evolves as you're playing it. And what I mean by that is, immediately upon starting a New Game Plus, I got 2 new cutscenes to like add to it, and there's new collectibles along the way. And on New Game Plus, you can get either ending 2 or 3. And then what that leads you to is New Game Plus 2, New Game Plus Plus, whatever. The third playthrough is when you can get the true ending to the game. So that's why, like, this game literally, yes, you beat it with a playthrough, but this game is meant to be played 3 ways 3 times as the full playthrough. Now, I want to get that out of the way because that's why it is. I technically I can review it. I beat it, but I don't feel comfortable reviewing it until I have gotten at least kitty, at least another ending. Then I will feel a lot more comfortable giving it a score and everything. But I will give my impressions of it. I will apologize. You'll be able to hear my cat a little bit. He is very vocal. It'll just be this segment. Next segment, he won't be here. I would say he won't be with us, but that just makes it sound really bad. I just meant I'm going to close the door and I'll open it again after I finish recording. But Silent Hill F, many people consider Silent Hill about the town. And when this game was announced as being not in the town of Silent Hill, you know, there's understandable, okay, well, this is different. And it is. But one of the best things about Silent Hill F is it is completely new. While you play it and you're like, this is Silent Hill at its core. And it changed the idea of Silent Hill needing to be in the town of Silent Hill and making it more of a Silent Hill is this feeling. And I am okay with that. It lets the world expand, essentially. So this game takes place in the 60s in rural Japan. You play as Honoka when a fog envelops her town and this red foliage sprout, we'll say, which brings you down a wild story. Enemy variety. I'm not going to say there's a ton of enemies, but there are a number of different ones. And I actually think the enemies in this are very creative. They're very creepy. I know not everybody is going to have the same sentiments of what enemies they do or don't find creepy. To me, these are very creepy because it is a thing that just makes me feel uncomfortable. And I mean that in a good way, not in a, oh, I don't like this, in a, whoo, I don't like this, I'm ready, let's do this. Combat. This game incorporates something I do not like, I will say that, which is weapon durability. Just give me a weapon and let me use that weapon. But I never really had a problem with needing, like, oh no, I'm out of weapons or anything like that. I got kind of close, but it worked out every time. So I'd say the placement of weapons you can pick up is pretty good. Actual combat, I see too many people comparing it to Souls. Look, the honest thing is it is not Souls combat. It is, it is melee focused where you want to dodge and you have a parry, but it is not Souls combat. It is definitely action combat. The music is beautiful. Kira Yamaoka returns and just chef's kiss on the music. I think the story is really good. From what I know so far, I will say that. From what I know so far, I think the story is really good. After one playthrough, I'm like, oh my god, yes, I'm here. I see what I get a general gist of what happened, and oh my god. The game is best played with an open mind. And when you really start to see everything a little more clearly, you can see how messed up it is. And I don't mean that to be like, oh, this game is messed up. I mean, the subject matter that the game tackles, it is a messed up subject matter. Because while I like to think things have changed, and they definitely have, but not enough. And I like that the game tackles this because it is a subject matter you don't see in gaming that often, which is like the idea of, women as property is essentially what I will boil it down to. And boiling it down does not do it justice. The story is so good. I think Hinoka is a great character. The environments are very Silent Hill, and I think that's wonderful. Instead of normally in Silent Hill games, you have the town, which is the foggy town and all that. But then the darkness comes, and that's where the enemies are at full force and such. That's not a thing here. When you essentially go to enter what would be the darkness, you're in another location, we'll say, and that has another story that's going on besides just the story that's going on in Honoka's town. But, it's tied together with the same character. And you start to get a feel for what all is going on, and you feel heartbroken for the character. Everything about this game is so well thought out and planned. From the environments to what is happening at the time to the characters in it. Everything is so incredibly well thought out. And like I said, I'm not ready to give it a score yet. I will do a full-on review once I have... I do want to get the true ending. But I really do think this game might be my game of the year. I'm not going to say for sure it is, because there are some good contenders this year. But this game has me just constantly thinking about it and wanting me to go back and continue. And this game is going to stay with me, which I think is exactly what it needs to do. Now, the last game I'm going to talk about today, the last impressions I will be giving, is for the new Digimon game, Digimon Story Time Stranger, which is in the Digimon Story universe. I'm not exactly sure how tied it is to Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth or Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth Hacker's Memory, but I do know it is somewhat it is somewhat related. I need to beat Hacker's Memory, and I got close to the end of Cyber Sleuth, and I need to go back and actually beat it. But it is, your classic turn-based RPG, but Digimon style, and I think it works very well. The music is good, it's fine. I don't remember, I could be wrong, but I don't remember the other Digimon Story games having voice acting, or if it did, having as much as this one does, which I think is really neat. You can tell they increased the quality for this game, and it shows. There are 450 Digimon in this game, which I think is awesome. I basically already almost have a party of my favorites. I'm gonna say I'm 8 to 10 hours in. I believe. And I don't have any Ultimate Digimon yet. I only have Champions. And they don't want you to get too good of Digimon too fast, to the point where the game is too easy, even though it has difficulty settings. I actually want to look and see what difficulty I'm on, and I do not for the life of me remember. But I like how this game is being handled. It's not just being handled as, oh, here's another, game based on an anime. This game has a lot of heart and a lot of thought put into its creation, and I think it's awesome. As a huge Digimon fan, I genuinely already think it is one of the best Digimon games out there, if not the best. It is that good, and this is another one that very much could end up on my Game of the Year list, because just like Silent Hill F, I can't stop thinking about it. Like, at work today, I'm just like, man, I can't wait to get home and play more Digimon. Which is something I haven't said in a long time. I like the Digimon Story Cyber Sleuth games, but neither of them were really like, oh man, I can't wait to play more. It's just like, okay, I'll play some more tonight. This is the best Digimon game we've had in a while. And I'm excited to play through it. And it's something I really would like to try and get the platinum, because I enjoy it that much. Now, I'm going to take a quick break, be right back, and we will talk about my most anticipated game, which finally got a release date, and the other games I'm getting this month. Be right back. Hi, it's me, but in pre-recorded form. This is where a sponsor would go, but I don't have one. So I just want to take a moment to say thank you. To you. Yes, you, the listener, right now, who's hearing this in their ears. Thank you for making my stupid voice and wacky opinion on games and the game industry a part of your day. It honestly means a lot. If you enjoy it and want to help out even more, the biggest thing you can do is share it and leave a review on your podcast service. It really does help. Like, I know it's easy to say that, but it's a real thing. It helps. And your help could help the podcast grow even potentially. And not saying this for everyone, but if you decide you want to help out even a little more, I do stream over at twitch.tv/localizardman, and feel free to drop a follow there. And if you have Amazon Prime, now this isn't for me. I mean, it could be, but really this isn't for me. If you have Amazon Prime, I want you to remember that you have a Prime sub. A free Twitch Prime sub every month that they don't tell you about. And don't forget to give that to your favorite creator. I'm not saying to give it to me. I mean, you can if you want, but I'm not saying to. Give it to your favorite creator. Help them out. I want to just take this PSA moment to say, help them. It doesn't cost you anything, and it really helps them. Show your favorite creator some love, and I'm sure. I don't even have to say I'm sure they appreciate it. I know they do. So thank you, and let's get back to the episode. And welcome back to kick off this segment of the podcast. The first thing I want to talk about is what ended up being my most anticipated game this year finally has a release date. And funny enough, it is coming out on the very same day as my other most anticipated game this year. Yesterday, Power Wash Simulator tweeted out, "Get ready to suit up, washers. You'll be able to collect your keys and get busting grime October 23rd. Coming to PC, Xbox Series X and S, PlayStation 5, and Nintendo Switch 2. That's right, Power Wash Simulator 2 finally has a release date. October 23rd, this month. I'll be honest, I expected it in maybe November. That's what I was thinking. But the fact that we're getting it in October, oh, hell yeah. If you don't know me, all that, I love Power Wash Simulator. It is one of my, ultimate comfort games. It's something I just enjoy doing. The act of playing the game itself is so relaxing. The humor is great. And we are getting the second game finally. So, changes to this one. You now have a base of operations. From there, you will essentially click on the map to go to your missions. There is also a new... Oh, and you'll be able to decorate the base as well. There is also a new soap function, which, if you are like me, the soap in the first game was not great. It was fine. It wasn't bad. It just was fine. But the way soap works in this one, it is more of a, instead of having for each surface, this soap cleans everything. And you spray the soap and then wash it off. And it is going to be so much nicer. Honestly, I just stopped using soaps. Which should not be how it is, but it was, because soaps left so much behind if I didn't like really get a section that I was like, well, I went over this, but I have to go over it again anyhow just to get like the remnants of it. I'm excited for this new soap function so bad. The levels, you know, watching the trailer and seeing some levels, I'm so excited to play new levels. I can't believe it is finally almost here. October 23rd, Power Wash Simulator 2. Oh, co-op. So Power Wash Simulator 1 was co-op as well, but this time, the way co-op will function, anybody who plays co-op, whether it be 2 people, 3 people, or 4 people, anybody who plays co-op, it will make progress in their campaigns. In the first one, the only person who got progress from co-op is the person like whose game it was. The other person's like, well, I'm just here to help. They didn't get progress for it. But in this new one, you will get progress in co-op, which I think is so freaking cool. It's great, and it makes me want to play co-op more. But yeah, I had to talk about it a little bit because Power Simulator 2, oh my god, it's freaking here. I'm so excited. Spoiler, I will be streaming this. I did apply to get a code for review or stream, whichever they want to give. I did it because I love Power Simulator. I want to help spread the word about it. We'll see. Even if I don't get it, you know, day one, I am excited to play this game, and spoiler, I'm going to be streaming it. Because freaking Power Simulator 2. Oh god, I'm so excited. But the other thing I want to talk about before we fully end this episode is the rest of October for me. You know what? We're going to expand upon that. I originally was like the end of October. No. We're going to talk about the rest of the year. And we'll get into why I made that change. So, the rest of the year in games that I'm going to be, I am planning on grabbing and, you know, we'll talk about on the podcast here. And hope to have a review for each one. I will put that out there. I hope to have a review for each game I mention here today. First up, October 21st, Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2. I know a lot of VTM Bloodlines fans, like fans of the first game, are hesitant about this one because it is so different. You know, no character creator, no, like, it's not going to be as heavy RPG. Maybe it's probably going to be a little more heavy into combat. I would say it looks that way. And I understand their hesitation. Then there's me, who played Bloodlines, and like, this is way too deep for me. Bloodlines 2 looks perfect. And I'm here for it. It has hit some, you know, road speed bumps, we'll say. It has hit some speed bumps, and I get that. But I'm going to give it a fair shot, and I'm excited for this game. I love the VTM world, and I'm ready to dive in once more. Next up, on October 23rd, as I mentioned, we have Power Wash Simulator 2, my most anticipated game. I just talked all about it, so I'm not going to dive too deep into it. Next up, on that very same day, my other most anticipated game of the year, Tormented Souls 2. I dabbled in the demo a little bit, but let's be real, I was going to get it anyhow, and I'm ready to just play the game, so I didn't do too much. Tormented Souls 2 is the story of Caroline, back from the first game, and she's bringing her sister to this place, which turns out to not be what is promised. It is a horror game, very akin to the classic survival horror games of old, like, you know, classic Resident Evil and Silent Hill. I don't know about the second one here, but I know even the first one had, if you used the D-pad it was tank controls. If you used the thumbsticks, it was normal controls, which I think is awesome. And I think the second one has that as well. But yeah, there's just a classic throwback to original survival horror games of yesteryear, the ones that made you fall in love with the genre. And I'm so excited to play more in the series that it is legitimately like all year I'm like, I cannot wait for Tormented Souls 2. It's finally almost here. Then the last game this month I am grabbing, technically, is not new. On October 29th, I want to say. I do not have these dates in front of me. Just vague memories. On October 29th is Corpse Party, the Tetralogy pack? I don't know, Tetralogy something. But it comes with, you know what? I am going to look this one up just to be safe, because I cannot remember the exact, I think I remember the exact ones, but, you know, better safe than sorry. So, the Corpse Party Tetralogy pack, which is only on Switch, unfortunately, it's because, you know, I'm a big PlayStation gamer. I would have loved to have it there. But it comes with the 2021 remake of Corpse Party. Corpse Party Book of Shadows, which I think may have come out on Steam. The reason I say that is the only other place it was available in the States was on the PSP as a digital download. Only other place for Book of Shadows. Corpse Party, Sweet Sachiko's Hysteric Birthday Bash. This one, I really don't know too much of anything about. I just know I've never played it. And Corpse Party Blood Drive, which is set 2 months after Book of Shadows. It is a definitive conclusion to the long-running Heavenly Host story arc. I never beat Blood Drive. I need to get back to it. But we are finally going to have every Corpse Party that is made, at least that I'm aware of. I will go with that. But everyone together in one place in the States, and I'm so excited. I love the world of Corpse Party. I love the games. It's so fascinating, and I'm so excited. I'll finally be playing Book of Shadows for the first time. And like I said, I do not know anything about Sweet Sachiko's Hysteric Birthday Bash. So that's going to be completely new to me, and I am stoked. Like I said earlier, I am mainly a PlayStation gamer, and I've barely played my Switch this year, but this is going to get me to change that. I couldn't be more excited. That is it for October games. You know, there aren't many more this year, and which is why I said I'm going to talk about just the rest of the year as a whole. November 7th. Let me also say, this is subject to change. You never know what is going to get announced, what is going to essentially catch your fancy. But this is as of right now. November 7th. Unbeatable. It's an indie game that I am so incredibly excited for. I played the demo. I loved it. I did have some problems with the demo. I never could finish it because it kept breaking. But I'm so excited for this game. It is essentially we'll say, adventure game with music/rhythm elements. And what I mean by that is, in it you are a band. And I think you essentially only play as one character. So you are the lead singer of a band. And in this world, music is outlawed. Which I love the tagline, in this world, music is outlawed and you do crimes. Because it's just, you're in a band. And it's great. I played the demo and loved it. Said I don't have too much to say yet. Just because I didn't get, I never beat the demo. And at that point I was already like, fine. It's fine. I'm just so ready for the game. And then coming out, I want to say it's November 17th. Sounds right, is a game that is already out. but the physical copy of Hades 2 is releasing, and I will be grabbing that for Switch, and I'm stoked. I'll finally get to play Hades 2. I know it has a lot of buzz. I loved Hades. I love everything Supergiant does. Darren Korb's music is just incredible, and I'm so excited to jump back into this world. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that comes out this year that I'm having going, oh, I need to get that. Off the top of my head, I can't think of any. But, hell, those games are going to last me the rest of the year. So, you know what? I am set. That's everything I think for this week. I need to get everything ready, but I'm planning for a big podcast episode at the end of the month. That is all about horror games and my favorite ones. And also to get, like I did for the indie episode, get some input from my Blue Sky community. Thank you for joining me on this ride. And until next week, good night, listeners. Good night.